Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. This is an ongoing presentation for Oracle Fest. I'll be your host today. My name is Scott Creighton. I'm Vice President of Strategy for our manufacturing industries. And we're going to talk about our two latest solutions for manufacturing and how they're really helping companies drive business outcome as part of their overall transformations. And the two I'm going to introduce to you today are Enterprise Service Management for service transformation, and then Digital Sales and Marketing for sales and marketing transformation as it relates to moving to an as-a-services company. So let's get started. And again, my name's Scott Creighton, and I'm head of strategy for industry solutions, specifically manufacturing. That's high-tech, industrial manufacturing, and automotive. But first of all, let's talk about what's going on in manufacturing. Number one, digital has redefined everything, especially coming out of COVID-19, the pandemic. Many of our customers are really accelerating their digital transformation to really move to more contactless service or touchless sales and service. They're also changing their business models to as a service. So moving from transactional product sales plus a service contract to monitored IoT-based services, and then providing that on a subscription or as a service basis. These are huge transformations, as well as what does this mean for the customer? We're going to talk about this today, as we want that digital experience for the customer to really leverage that to improve overall margins, increase contract margins for cross-sell, upsell, all the things we want to do to the customer, but we want it to be a flawless engagement. We want it to be this digital experience. So let's see what's happening in the industry. First of all, digital is accelerating. So we talked about digital a lot for the last 5 or 6 years, but now it's on the table for the CIO, the Chief Digital Officer, as well as the COO. And so these are board level room discussions. You'll see this a lot in their 10Ks, right? You'll see this a lot in their business presentations to analysts as a strategy to increase margins, drive service contract renewals, increase customer satisfaction, but more importantly, drive net new revenue. And you can see we're changing business models. This is a huge transformation, and typically these transformations are 1 to 2 to 3 to 5 year transformations. It's a great opportunity for Oracle to partner with you to help you through these transformations. So first of all, what else is happening here? Number one, 90% of companies are talking digital, but only about 15 to 20% are really executing on it. So there's a lot of room to work here together in a partnership with Oracle. And especially though now, as we look at service transformation, we're going to see that in the services organization to support these new business models, that's where some of the biggest transformation is required. And 68% of companies in the manufacturing industry are either starting or will start their service transformations. So let's talk about transformation. First of all, we've spent a lot of time on that digital experience for our customers. We want to make sure it's frictionless, contactless, easy to do business. That's a competitive advantage. But all the hard stuff underneath is where transformation needs to happen, right? It's with the customer data, tying customer data to assets, and to be able to understand and leverage that data and information to drive these service transformation experiences or these new digital sales transformation experiences to move to these as a service models. So it's everything underneath the covers, and Oracle's a great partner to help you with that. But let's look at where they're investing. You can see this in the investments that companies in manufacturing are making, especially around vision of transformation, but more importantly, leveraging that data to leverage AI, IoT, and all these cool, innovative technologies to really drive that as a service business model and increase our contract length, increase the contract dollars, and increase profitability. But more importantly, you're going to see the trend where in digital, there is no front office and back office. The supply chain plays a very important role in the transparency for customers to do many different types of digital transactions. We'll talk a lot about that as well. But let's look at from a business model standpoint. So this is a major shift. So many of our customers have acquired a lot of companies over the years, and now they've been selling them all one at a time with a service contract. It's a very low margin business, and the margins are coming way down. And then they're not starting to bundle different solutions. So they may have 3 or 4 different acquisitions. They're trying to bundle those offerings together and provide a much more high value solution offering. But more importantly, they're moving to these lifetime contracts, 10, 15, 20-year contracts based on business outcome with all the components that they have wrapped around with IoT and monitoring services to provide that added value. But the contracts are very different. They're based on consumption models. They're based on cost savings. And this is a very different model. And what we specifically see is in the service organization, we need to move very quickly from this reactive break fix and get better at that and make that as seamless and touchless as possible and really automate it to more preventative, because we don't want these assets going down. We need to keep them up and running, but specifically predictive. We need to get there before these assets go down and to keep them up and running, because the contracts, again, are based on business outcomes. If these assets go down and we have to roll trucks and bring out technicians unannounced, that's very expensive and will drive the margins down. So it's very quickly, how do we leverage data, the monitoring data associated with IoT, putting that together with assets and customers and best practices, leveraging AI on top of that, and starting to predict when these assets are going down. And we got to get there before they go down. So why is this an issue? Well, many of our customers we're working with look something like this. They got a little bit of everything that's been acquired over the years, right? Some of our largest customers still have Siebel. We've got EBS in the back, multiple order entry systems. And in this process, we need to rationalize this. We need to really move towards a very less complex environment, a very lower cost environment, and then digitize these. So the question is, how do you do that? Well, Oracle has a huge advantage, because in our portfolio of capabilities, whether it's our CRM that's tied to the back office capabilities and supply chain, we move this onto a single platform. And so, as I mentioned earlier, in digital, front office and back office, in digital, the lines are gone. Sales and service, the lines are gone. And your business agility and your intelligence is going to come from the platform. And as we mentioned earlier, everything's under the line. It's data tied to customers, tied to assets, leveraging IoT, enriching that data, and have the processes automated from end to end, and then leverage as much intelligence as we can. So how do we actually do this? Here's a very simple break fix process for service transformation. And what we did is we took a customer journey and a digital experience, and we looked at the process flows, the user experience, the data models, and we line this all up from end to end because we want to automate the process. So this is a very much data-driven, process-oriented transformation. And we move the entire set of processes from break fix, preventative maintenance, to returns, exchanges, and sending out technicians or depot repairs, and coming in from any digital channel, we can kick off this process. More importantly, assets can kick off the process because we have the entire process on a single platform. So think about the power of that, driven by data. And so this is how we do it. And we built out these process flows also for that digital experience in selling and servicing. So how did we do that? Again, we took the same orientation. We have a platform. We look to the end-to-end processes. We know when we send a promotion out, we want that to go through a really rich digital experience known as the commerce channel. And underneath lying that, we know if it's a direct customer, a partner resell, a partner implementation, and we sort that out through the sales planning and execution, through territory management, incentive compensation, and making sure everyone gets paid, but we've digitized that ordering process now. And then cross-sell, upsell, and then if it's really complex, the configuration processes, but more importantly, driven right back through the ERP systems for order management and fulfillment. So we took a complete process strategy. These are pre-built, they're end-to-end, and you can start with any one of the areas required and really drive through this on a step-by-step basis. I'll talk about that, but most importantly, one of the contributing success factors is data. And all the customers we talk to, data has been a problem. We've acquired all these systems. Typically the data governance isn't there. The 360-degree view of the customer isn't there. Customers tied to assets isn't there. So we really spend a lot of time at data. And the more data you have, the richer the data have, the more you can digitize these processes. This is a complete front office and back office strategy. So the best part is we have the capabilities and you can start anywhere. So enterprise service management, again, is a service transformation solution. We have all the components, but more importantly, we have taken the time and effort over the last 2.5, 3 years to automate the processes at both the process level and the data level. So the automated processes of the entitlements, understanding the contracts and the service levels, and then optimizing the field service technicians out into the field. And then the digital experience for the customer kicking off that process, or more importantly, the asset. We can get the right person at the right time with the right spare parts out there to fix that asset the first time. And that's a huge cost savings. And then we tie into the back office around service logistics. So asset management, spare parts inventory, maintenance, preventative maintenance, depot repair, those capabilities are pre-built as well. And then we can circle right around to the left side where we see digital promotion and order management, and that's that digital experience, cross-selling and upselling to customers, moving them from a traditional service contract at renewal time, upgrading them to an as-a-service contract. So these capabilities are pre-built. We can start where your business is most critical, and we can continue to add on based on business outcomes. And then digital sales and marketing, the same approach. Taking digital promotions, driving it through a digital channel, leveraging sales planning and execution, incentive compensation, territory management to manage those very complex orders and processes of whether it's a direct sale, we want to make sure our reps are paid. If it's an indirect sale, we want to make sure our channel isn't disintermediated. We want to make sure everyone is taken care of, but more importantly, the right channel at the right time to do the implementation with the right skill sets. And then we certainly have contract management, and we can move these contracts to as a service and a subscription basis, and we can upgrade them through the ordering process, and then we can package it up and move it right off to the back office system. Again, pre-built processes and data flows. We can start where your business requirements are of the utmost importance and priority, and continue to build on this over time as we implement through the transformation. Even better, we have laid this out based on business outcomes. And we know now best practices that when we look at these solutions and we do the solution working with your companies, we then can take each of the projects over the 1 to 2 to 3 year period, and we can build it based on business value to really help you put that business case together to say, what business metrics are we going to drive leveraging these solutions? And we've pre-built this. We have a great business value services team, and we can tailor it specifically to your business. And it's the same thing with digital sales and marketing to really transform that digital experience to moving customers to as a service in net new services and product revenue. And the next one is Parker Hannifin, where we took many different systems and consolidated them into one platform to really drive out that 360-degree view and to be able to do the cross-sell, upsell, promotion of both sales and service on a single platform. And then Schenck Process is another great example where from an industry standpoint, we've spent a lot of time working with them to really, again, bridge the gap between service and sales and really modernize that digital experience for the customers. And Vertiv is another great example of front office, back office transformation. Panasonic is another great one from the UK in helping them modernize their platform in moving to a single platform for sales, service, and really driving increased revenue. So with that said, I hope this was very helpful. I want to thank you. I want to thank our partnership with Intel, as well as the sponsorship here of the Oracle Fest. So thank you very much, and I hope that was very helpful for you.